advance. We will do our best to make sure that we update you if there's anything that happens along the way. So thank you all for joining us today. My name is Lindsay Groves. I am the walk manager for the greater Pittsburgh area. And with me today are a few of my co-workers. We have Meg from the Pittsburgh Walk, Jen from the Northwest PA Walks, and we have a special guest speaker as well. But we wanted to introduce a couple new people. We do have 2 new walk managers. Carl is on the call. I won't make him introduce himself, but he just started last week. He will be Northeast PA, and then we have Bree, who is covering the greater Harrisburg area, but she's not able to be on the call today. So you'll see some new faces coming in, and we do have someone else starting pretty soon as well for Central Pennsylvania. So just keep in mind, you will be seeing some new faces moving on. And we have another ALZ staff member on today, Brittany Grego. She's our media relations specialist. So, and we have a very special guest speaker, Robin Schaefer, which we will introduce her a little bit later. So, all right, so today's topic is all about social media and how to use it. And I will give you a disclaimer that I am not 100% the best user of social media across the board. There's always stuff that's changing, and you just have to stay on top of it. If there is anything that we don't cover today, we're going to cover the most the most commonly used social media platforms, focusing primarily on Facebook because it's the most user-friendly, and some other options. But if there's a social media that you don't use, that you do use that we don't cover, bring it to our attention, because if it's something that we should be using, or something that maybe it's just not in our special special skills wheelhouse, we can definitely try and help you work through it. But today we will start with how to connect your Facebook page for a fundraiser through your participant center, and then get into a couple other of the ways that you can fundraise on social. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. And I do have things queued up in advance, so just bear with me if a video starts playing, because we will be using different social media platforms like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, those sort of things, just so you can see how they work. But if a video starts playing right away, I apologize. We'll just wait till it calms down. So, but first, the first place you're going to go is your participant center. So I recommend starting here, just because you want to customize your URL depending on any type of social media page that you use or platform. So what you'll do is, once you log in, this will be the screen that you see. This is my family teams page. And then you can go to my page. So you can see here that there are team pages and your page. It says my page, but it will be yours. And you can actually click here to customize your link. So once it comes up, you can literally just type in whatever you want to type in, as long as it's appropriate. Just keep that in mind. But if you want to call it my name's very uncommon with the spelling, so my URL was not taken. So it will tell you if there is another URL by that name that's in use, but you can literally type in anything that you want to make that the shortened URL. So let me say that. This is to my personal fundraising page. You can copy that to your clipboard and then paste it anywhere you want on any of your social media platforms. But I'll show you specifically where once we get to the examples. You can do the exact same thing on your team's page. So my team's name is Gary's Girls. So we actually just customize the team page to just be Gary. And this way you're not getting all those numbers and letters that are 20 million letters long, and it's cumbersome to post somewhere. Just so you're aware, you can make those short URL links, and I highly recommend doing that. So back to your dashboard. So this is what comes up when you first log into your participant center. If you scroll down, the easiest way to connect, we'll start with Facebook, obviously. Easiest way to connect your fundraising to Facebook is through this button right here. So like I said, you logged into your participant center, you scroll down, it should be towards the bottom left. So I have not set up my Facebook fundraiser yet, so I'm going to actually show you what that looks like. So we'll click to actually connect it to Facebook. I believe because I am logged in to Facebook that it automatically created it for me. If you've done it in the past, it should do the same thing. So then I'm going to click view on Facebook, and it automatically created a donor page, just like any standard Facebook. Yes, it already posted it. So any standard Facebook fundraiser, you can go in and edit, because it says that I have 339 days left. Like, you can set parameters for it, and then you can change your goals as well. So I'll show you what that looks like once it loads. I apologize, my internet is a little slow today. So right here, you can change your goal. I'm going to leave it as is. You can see the desktop preview as well. So I'm going to make this for it to count for this year's fundraising. We would have to have it no later than December 31st for it to be credited to the 2022 walk season, and that would be the same for your incentives as well. If you would like, if you're choosing to earn towards incentives, it has to be by December 31st. But with Facebook, I recommend to do it 2 weeks prior, because if any of your donations don't translate to your walk page, they should, if you do it through your walk page and set it up through that participant center, it should translate properly to your Facebook fundraiser and then back to the actual like thermometer on your personal fundraising page. If it does not, and say maybe that someone made a $50 donation, just as an example, that hasn't made it to your fundraising total yet on your participant center, let us know. We can track it down. The only caveat to that is that your fundraiser has to be ended before we can move any of that money around or try to track it down. We actually can contact Facebook for you and pull that to your participant center. So just keep that in mind. I recommend 2 weeks prior, just to make sure that everything's in. But after that, you can just direct them directly to your participant center and not the Facebook fundraiser itself if anyone wants to make those year-end gifts. I'm going to, let me change that just so, I thought I changed it. See, I'm not the expert, but I will sure try. So you can actually customize your Facebook description. This is just pretty much a standardized message. And if you see here, like it has some hieroglyphics in there, you don't really, you don't have to use what we put in. You can make it however you want. And Robin's going to talk about that in a couple minutes. But so I'll go back in and change this later, but I'm just going to hit save for the sake of the demo. And this will be, if you've never used Facebook fundraising before, it's pretty simple. You can write posts just like you would. It's listed sort of like an event in your taskbar in Facebook. You can click this invite button and you can invite anyone to participate or donate in your fundraiser. You can share it you can reshare it over and over again to your page as well. And then you can edit your fundraiser at any time. You can end the fundraiser whenever you want and restart it. It's truly up to you. You can even change your timeline cover if you would like to for the event. But this about section is where that editing would take place and where you would see all of those customized, you'd share your story moments there. So I'm going to stop here for a minute and just see if we have any questions before I move on. Anything in the chat, guys?
Nothing in chat, Lindsay.
Okay, great. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to now, Robin, is it okay if I pull up your Facebook post? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing for a minute until I find it, but Robin, if you want to take it away and just feel free to start sharing, and I will pull that up so we can show yours as an example in a second.
Okay, hi guys. Lindsay asked me to share some fundraising tips from Facebook because I'm kind of successful with my Facebook fundraiser. That's how I basically do most of my fundraising. I don't know if I should say I'm successful or I just have a lot of people on Facebook that contribute, but excuse me, I'm sorry. I think that a couple of things a couple points I want to make is, and I agree with Lindsay, I tried to make my story personal. And I think that that really helps if you make your Facebook page personal and not just use the statistics or the general story that's supplied to you, because I think it makes it more humanistic for people when they see that and people can relate a lot better. I also, on my page, when she pulls it up, you'll see I changed my picture. I put our old team and to show everybody that we walked. I think that's a good idea too, because even though I'm thanking people for their donations all the time, they can then see we did walk and we participated and who participates in it, in my walk. Yeah, so that's my story that she's showing you there. So what I did with my story is, the first part of my story is I spoke as though I were my mother and wrote what I thought she would say to people about having Alzheimer's, because my mother's been non-communicative for at least 3.5 years. She really can't say much. And I think that I know from putting that story on, the comments and the hits that I got when I originally did that last year were so endearing and so supportive. And I think that that made people understand it a little better. And then the second paragraph talks about what it's like for me as a caregiver, you know, for my mother, since I've been caring for her for 7 years. So that's what I did with my, personal story. And I know a lot of people did read it because they give me comments. And what's good about that type of an interaction, when they're giving you comments, all of your friends are getting that on their news feed that somebody responded to something you did or something you said. And so it makes people open that up. So you're reaching actually more people than you really think you're able to reach. Also, excuse me, I'm sorry. I also will be doing this year, I'm going to post more pictures and I'm going to try a video that I'm working on with my mother, and I'll put that in the post. So basically what I do when I create my own story, I put that up, I customize my link, very good suggestion, because people, you'll be surprised, they'll ask you what your link is. And if you have that long link or copy that link, sometimes it gets confusing. And when you customize your link, you can put that on all your correspondence and just put, mine I think says walk for TT, because my mother's name's Teresa, we call her TT. And that makes it quick and easy for people to go right to your page and then donate. Also, an important thing, when I make that, I went to the participant center, like Lindsay said, created my page, shared it on Facebook, and then I pinned it. So on my Facebook page, that's pinned to the top. When you pin something to the top, everything else that gets posted goes below that. And I think that's important because I don't have to ever search for that particular my page on my page. I just pin it up at the top, and I'll leave it there until the walk or until December. I'll keep that pinned. Let's see. The one thing that's important with doing the Facebook, I think that makes me successful with it, is I check it often, and immediately when somebody has donated, I like it, because when you like it, it goes to other people also. And I like it, and then I give a comment by thanking them. I try to make the comment personal. Other people then get to see that, and I think that's really important. Let's see. One thing I don't do, and people are afraid to do a fundraiser on Facebook because they think they're hounding people. I don't hound people with it. I will occasionally post. I pace myself when I post. I'm not on there every day saying donate, 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 but I give friendly reminders. And then when I post something, I think then people go, oh yes, I'm going to donate. I'm going to do that. Let's see. I'm going to think if there's anything else. Oh, the one other thing too I want to say is when my team signs up, for some reason, they don't necessarily attach it to Facebook. So this year I focused on having my team attach their page to Facebook, because I said to them, some of them are like, oh, I don't really want to fundraise that way, or I feel like I'm asking too much of people. And I said, don't ask anything, just post it and see what happens. And sure enough, when they posted it, you know, they got $100, $200, $50 that we never would have gotten from anybody. And I think that that's important too, that have your team just post it. They don't want to, you know, attend to it like I attend to my page, that's fine, but I think posting it's very important. Trying to think if there's anything else. Does anybody have any questions on what I'm saying on how to do that or what that looks like? And I would just say too, I think it's a great way to send encouragement to your even on your Facebook page so that other people are seeing you interact with your team members.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Robin, for sharing. Just a reminder, can everyone make sure that their lines are muted? We are getting feedback again. So thank you. Are we good? Any feedback from everyone good? Okay. All right. So Robin, I did want to ask you one question before we wrap up with your section. Do you send personal invitations through chat at all or messenger, or do you just kind of post it? I know you said that you just let people kind of donate to you, but I just wanted to ask.
So I'm fortunate because I just post it and I have a lot of different groups and things that I'm involved in and have a lot of different affiliations through my Facebook page that I think people see. So I don't necessarily invite them through the Facebook page, but what I'll do is I have a lot of friends not on Facebook or who don't, you know, want to give that way. I do use in the participant center, I do invite people through email. So I will do that also in addition to this, and I'll give them my Facebook link or the link to my page through the email. So I haven't done it on here because I haven't needed to do it, but I certainly think that's a great way to personally invite somebody to your page. I mean, you know, I think the way I would do it is I would invite people that I know maybe have some kind of a vested interest in that if I'm going to invite them to my Facebook page. You know, maybe I know they share the same thing as me or they're a close friend of mine. And haven't seen it yet, but I haven't used that tool yet. Okay. I am going to try this year, that I know you're going to talk about the other things. I am going to try to link them up to I do have an Instagram page and I do have a Twitter page that I'm going to link these to this year.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And just thank you for sharing your story. I do agree 100% with Robin that this section right here in the About section is huge. Usually if you customize your pages, whether that is through our statistics based on your participant center, but you can use the same story in every place. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just make sure that you're, you know, share your heart, share why you're involved, and it makes the world of difference. On average, those who customize their participant center to share their story receive 40% more donations overall in the long run. So thank you. And I think
too, just to let everybody know, because I don't know if you saw that on there, is I was surprised. I put it up early this year, and usually I can raise that money within a month or a month and a half. But I put it up early this year, and the minute I put it up, I think within I have to say a week or two, my goal was $2,500, and I've already raised $1,400 so far. And now it's time for me to do a refresh. Like I'm out to get the next group of people that were thinking about it, but then thought I'll get to it because I'm like that. I'll see something, I won't donate right away. And so I like that reminder, that refresh, because it's like, it's on my list, I'll get to it. So that was really a surprise. That was a surprise to me that this early I got $1,400.
Right. Well, that's fantastic. And it's a testament to, you know, your community of friends and family as well. So another, just a reminder, so say you think that you have a group of friends that may, or Facebook friends that might not be as, you know, forthcoming with making donations like Robin's friends are. I suggest doing a Facebook fundraiser for your birthday or your reason to walk's birthday. We typically do one around my grandfather's birthday. That's toward the end of the year. And then even your dog, like anything along those lines, you know, be creative with it. And that way you can set a specific, like usually a birthday fundraiser on Facebook runs about 2 weeks. So if you think that's more your speed, or you want to get your feet wet, if you've never done this before, like that is definitely a way to start. But all right. Well, thank you, Robin, for sharing. I'm going to go back to something that she referred to, and then we'll move on. But with this participant center, like she shared, you can edit anything that you would like. So the team page, you can, just like she was saying, customize the team photo. You can do that right here under your page. And then the team story section, like this is where you can edit whatever you would like. Just make sure that you save it. The formatting does not, it does warn you here, does not translate from Microsoft Word, but if you have a basic text editor or just want to type it in, you can definitely do that. But make sure you save, and then that will automatically share your story on your main page. So, okay, well, we will move on, and I need to cut my.
I'm sorry, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Also, you showed me something new on the Facebook fundraiser. I never edit it on there. I always edit everything on my participant center, and it just transfers over. So I didn't realize that was something new that I saw. So if people are confused that way, anything, because I shared it from my participant page, anything I edit here shows up on my page on Facebook.
Thank you for mentioning that. I forgot about that translation. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, Robin. So we'll move on from Facebook. Actually, let me stop one more time. Any questions about Facebook before we move on to a new platform?
Nothing in the chat, Lindsay.
Okay, thank you so much, Jen. All right, so let's move on to Instagram. So Facebook is the one we start with, is because it's the most user-friendly. It's the lowest barrier of entry. It's the easiest to link from your participant center. The others are a little bit more complicated, and I'm not, I just want to be upfront with that. The ones that I share from here on out are a little bit different. You're not going to have that ease of access where you just click one button, and if you're logged into your Facebook page, it automatically attaches. It's not going to be like that, but I will show you how we have gotten around those things and to make life a little bit easier. So let's go on to Instagram. Disclaimer, if any of you follow me after this from my handles, you're going to get spammed by my dog. So, but once it loads, I will share. So see, there's Oreo. Anyway, so if we go on to, so this is just showing you my basic Instagram profile. And I made a post just so you can see what this looks like. But with Instagram, you can't connect it directly to a fundraiser like you can on Facebook. So I wrote a basic, blurb about why I walk and some Pennsylvania statistics and everything, and I included a statement right here that says, click the link in my bio to make a donation. So you can't post links. If you do, it will come up like this. So if anyone wants to find, I have friends all over the country. So if anyone wanted to find their local walk, you can put that in, or you can put the short URL link for your team or the walk page itself. It's just not going to hyperlink, and that really isn't that helpful to you, but you can, you can share with people, you can have people comment, you can obviously put your own picture there of you with your team at walk if you're using Instagram. But I want to caution, and I'll get to that in a second, edit your bio. So I just click here to end alls. You have, I think, 80 characters, if I remember correctly, for your bio, but this is actually a hyperlink. So if I click, you can add a link. It's right around where your bio is. I'll show you in a second. But if you click the link, and hopefully I did it right, it's a trial and error. It takes you right to my team's page. So I'm going to click out of that. So that link works, but if you click edit profile, this is how you can do it on your social media. You can put that link in right there. You can edit the description, but I highly recommend using the website link so that you can actually click, so someone can actually click the link in your bio, just like any other social media influencer. So let's go back to my profile, if it'll let me. Nope, don't want to change that. Where am I? All right, so there we go. As I muddle back to my profile, there we go. There is a section on Instagram that allows for stories. I just want to caution you, you can use stories and put your link in there, but if you try to connect to a nonprofit fundraiser, it will only connect to the national team, like the National Alzheimer's Association. It will not connect to your to this specialized link. So you would have to type that in as like a bubble on the story, but again, those only last for 24 hours as well. So keep that in mind. That's it for Instagram. Are there any questions about Instagram? Okay, I'm going to move on to Twitter. So Twitter, I have a basic post that I just want to show you what it looks like. Twitter, you have a little bit more flexibility. You can actually take that shortened URL link and you can copy and paste it right into Twitter. So what I did was I changed my description to say, you know, proud supporter and volunteer the Walk to End Alzheimer's. You can do whatever you want, put some hashtags in there, but it did allow me to link it as well. So if you click that, it takes you right to my my team's page again. Let me close that out. And then I made an actual post or whatever they're called on Twitter, you know, just saying, hey, please support my Walk to End Alz team. And then I put the URL link right in the post. So the only thing that you're limited on in Twitter is character limit. So make sure that you shorten your URLs just to, you know, make sure that you're getting everything that you want said on your post. But are there any questions about tweets? It's pretty self-explanatory once you get that custom URL, but okay. So let's move on to TikTok. So this one might be the one that plays the video as soon as I log in, so bear with me. You can make whatever video you want. You can use photos and narrate if you want to. So I don't know if it'll start playing. Hold on. Benefits, dementia, and Alzheimer's. Okay, so I don't like my voice when I'm on recording, but anyway, you can make a video. Like I have some pictures of my grandfather. I'll let it play for a couple seconds. So I share us my grandfather Gary and introduce him and why we walk. You can set up whatever, you know, there are different parameters for length of videos that you can create on TikTok. I actually tagged our Greater Pennsylvania TikTok channel. The Brittany, who I referenced earlier, she's the one that does a lot of our posting there. So we do have a TikTok presence now. But I added, just like I was mentioning, I added the link to the actual video itself. So, but you can't click on it. So let's go over here to the description. So I just made a short description with some hashtags. You can't add that link, so it's going to have to be in your bio. Let me go back to my actual page. Sorry, started again. Fundraiser in the world that benefits. That's the only downside with TikTok. So, dementia and Alzheimer's research. Oh, for Pete's sake! All right, we'll get there. We'll get there, guys. Sorry. But there we go. So what I did is the exact same thing I did in Instagram. I just put the link in the bio. You can create, you would have to create a business account for you to have the hyperlink in TikTok. You can do that if you would like to. I don't know if I assume there's a cost associated with it, but I don't know enough about it. But definitely, at least you can have that there that people can copy and paste right into their browser. But do you have any questions about TikTok? Sorry, I'm getting some background noise. Hold on one second. All right, so we'll move on to the final post. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get my options back up because they will not come back up. Okay, So LinkedIn, this is a great one for any of you who are, have a professional presence on LinkedIn, who would like to share with your connections across, the country, the world for that matter. It will take a little bit different of a story approach if from what I would recommend, but you can put whatever text you want into here. Just know that it will change your link to be a LinkedIn link. No matter how many times you enter it, it will not say like the / go to / your team. It will always change it to be a LinkedIn link. But they can click here, or they can click this LinkedIn link. But it's whatever platforms you would like to utilize, and what your presence is on social media that you want to make sure that you account for overall. Not any one is better than the other. Let me just stop sharing. First and foremost, any questions about LinkedIn? It's similar to Facebook, so I think it's a little bit easier to understand. But this link right here is what throws some people off every once in a while. But any questions about how to utilize LinkedIn? Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing. Where'd it go? There we go. All right. So that is all that we had, visually for today. I wanted to mention before we disconnect that there are some other ways to, obviously there are other social media platforms, and there are different ways that you can collect donations. So before we disconnect, I wanted to say you can use Venmo, Zelle, PayPal. You just can't connect them directly to your fundraiser. So it would be people would be making donations to you, and then you would have to apply those donations either through another transaction or writing a check, that sort of thing. You can mobile deposit any check that you get. Just keep that in mind, that it is part of the Walk to End Alzheimer's mobile app that will cover, I think, next week, not next week, the next time we're meeting. But just know if you use any of those cash apps that you will have to do the extra legwork to connect that money to your fundraiser overall. But I see we have a hand raised. Go ahead.
Hey, just springboarding off of that, also just to be thoughtful, the IRS changed, regulations. So like if you receive a lot of money, like over $500 through a cash app, you're going to have extra tax work that you're going to have to, and yes, you're turning around and giving that money to the Alzheimer's Association, but the IRS doesn't really know or recognize that immediately. So that's just something to be aware of.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention. There is a way that you can code it. If you write friends and family, you won't have to incur that tax difference. If you list it as a donation, or if you are if you own your own business and are accepting money, that does apply to you. But if you code it as friends and family, especially in Venmo, that seems to be the way to do it. But thank you for bringing that up.
Absolutely. Just want to be aware of that. And then I joined late. Did you all talk about Facebook Live videos?
We didn't talk about live, but I do think that is a great tool to have as well. You can broadcast live in a post in your fundraiser or just on your Facebook page. 9 times out of 10, more people are going to watch your live than they are just a post. So I appreciate you for bringing that up. That was an oversight on my end. That's a great tool, a fantastic tool to use.
The other thing that's worth kind of springboarding about that from my experience, and Facebook is liable to change this anytime, but if somebody shares one of your posts from your Facebook fundraiser, like a regular thank you post or a photo or something that you share, it'll attach a link back to your Facebook fundraiser, but there's not a native donate button in that post that gets shared. But with the Facebook Live video, it'll keep a donate button on that media at all times. So it reduces the barriers of donating. Even if your Facebook Live is a 5-second, hey, thanks to so-and-so for donating, that keeps that donate button on the material every time somebody sees it.
Yeah, that's a great tip. Thank you for that. The other thing that I should mention, across any social media platform, tag your donors. If you're friends with them, make sure that you're thanking them, tag their pages, so that way, one, they see it, and then two, you can have many people see, hey, you know, these people donated on our behalf. And just a little extra, you know, an extra boost for thanking them. LinkedIn is especially important if you do have any companies that support your team specifically. Make sure that you donate. I mean, that you connect or tag that organization or that person individually. But well, that is all I have for today for social media. Like I said, if you have any other platforms that you utilize that we didn't cover, please feel free to share, or we can try and you know, learn how to use them too. So, but I know there's a lot out there and we appreciate it. So after this is over, we will be, we have recorded this entire presentation. It will be posted on our each individual walk page under Team Captain Resources tab or button. And then they'll also be available on each of the Facebook groups as soon as they process later today, if not tomorrow. So if you want to share this with anybody, or if anyone wasn't able to come on today that you think this would benefit, please feel free to send over to them. We also will have these posted on our YouTube page, which will link to any of those links automatically. So like I said, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll stick around for any additional questions afterward, but we look forward to, hopefully this helps and that you will have some really nice boost in your fundraising personally. So have a great day.
Hey everyone. I'm not entirely sure how I even got a link to your event, but I'm glad I was able to jump into it. My name is Joe Palicathile. I'm a senior walk manager in Greater Missouri, and I really dig what you guys have put together here. And I'm going to talk to our comms team about stealing it and trying to do it here. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that you were able to jump on. I don't know how you saw us, but hey, that's awesome.
That's pretty crazy, but yeah, thanks for joining us.
Well, seriously, keep up the good work. It seems like you're doing great things in your area, and I'm excited to see what all comes from your chapter this year.
Thanks.
That's the true power of social media. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Take care.
Thank you, you as well.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay.
All right. Great job, Lindsay.
Let's end the recording and then
Yeah.
we can chat.